Impressionism and Post-Impressionism art in Paris. During the Impressionist movement between the mid-1860s to mid-1880s, the dialogue in Paris between art and fashion suggested they lived a seductive lifestyle. According to Carolyn McDowell's article Impressionism and Modernism, the novelty, vibrancy, and fleeting allure of the latest trends in fashionable attire provided an appealing basis for a whole new generation of artists and writers as they sought to give an impression of the pulse of their modern life in all its nuanced tones and richness. Impressionist artists went against the three basic rules of art, which were to always paint inside a studio rather than outside, only paint biblical, mythological, or historical events, and to completely finish your work before presenting it to an audience. Impressionist artists wanted to paint the life as they saw it happening around them. They wanted future viewers to view their life as an intimate scene in the city or country of Paris. According to thecultureconcept.com, Impressionists had many critics that did not want to face the reality of life. Impressionist artists continued with their movement in an attempt to make their society become forward-thinking. Post-Impressionism was an art movement that developed in 1886 and lasted until 1905. Post-Impressionism artists also painted the world around them the way they saw it. They used their emotions to paint. They continued the Impressionism art movement with the only difference of painting with more distortive or emphasizing forms for expressive effects. Post-Impressionists used symbolism in their artwork. The artwork varied greatly among the artists. They used different brushstrokes and subjects. They created a color palette and used brushstrokes that made the paintings unrealistic. The paintings were instead meant to show what they saw with their imaginations. Georges Pierre Seurat was a French post-impressionist painter. He was born in Paris in 1859 and was the youngest of three children. He came from a well-off family. His father was a retired bailiff with a small fortune, and his mother came from a prosperous family that produced several sculptors. Unfortunately, he passed at the young age of 31 from tuberculosis, never completing one of his most famous works called Le Cirque, meaning the circus. Georges Seurat used a style of painting called pointillism to create his most famous piece called A Sunday Afternoon, La Grande Jatte. Pointillism is done by using brushstrokes to create small dots in the painting. The colors blend together, giving it a more realistic look. Pointillism is mostly done with oil paint because it is thicker and doesn't run or bleed. When first viewing his painting, I only saw a peaceful, beautiful afternoon. It appears to be middle to upper class people out enjoying the day by the water. After research, I learned that most, if not all, of these women are actually prostitutes. I will interpret the artwork through formalism and iconography. The center focus of the painting draws you to a little girl staring directly at the viewer. She is wearing a white dress with a white sun hat. She is holding onto a woman's hand who we can assume is her mother. There are two women sitting in the grass in front of her. They are both wearing dresses. One is wearing a hat and holding an open umbrella. Her hair is pinned up inside her hat. She is looking towards the young girl. The other young woman is about 20 years old with her hair in a ponytail. She is occupied with the flowers in her hand. There is a closed umbrella laying next to her. Then you see the woman holding the little girl's hand. She is wearing a long red dress, a white hat, and holding a red umbrella. She is looking over to her right around the water area. There is a man in the background behind her playing the flute. There are two men dressed in military uniform who we can assume came home looking for women. There are a few other people sitting in the grass. You also see the water with boats and trees in the background. Down to the left of the painting, you see more women sitting around in the grass. All of them are wearing long dresses and hats. Among them, you see two men sitting in the grass. One is dressed in a suit with a hat and cane. We can assume he is the pimp. Another is more laid back with a sleeveless shirt and hat, smoking a pipe. They are all turned facing the water. One woman is standing by the water fishing. This woman is also wearing a long dress and hat. The act of her fishing is thought to be a metaphor for her fishing for men, not for fishes. Over to the far right of the painting you can see a couple with a monkey on a leash. Monkey, translated in French, is singe, which also means naughty child. I believe she is using the monkey to advertise that she is naughty. This woman is also wearing a long dress and hat with an open umbrella. The man next to her is dressed in a suit with a hat. Behind them you see more women sitting in the grass wearing dresses, and a forest of trees in the background. When looking at this artwork, many would see a beautiful afternoon in a quiet, peaceful park. Everyone looks like they are relaxing and enjoying the scenery. However, if you study the painting, you will see that the painting predominantly contains women. According to an article on White Walls, it was believed that these women were high-paid prostitutes. The many opened umbrellas could be a sign declaring that these women are open for business. The young girls were there without their fathers. The young girls being there with their mothers implies that they will follow their mothers' career paths, which supports the Darwinian laws of evolution. Social Darwinism was created in the 1880s during the same time as the Impressionist art movement. The painting depicts a part of social Darwinism because the mothers had to do whatever they had to do to survive, including prostitution. They taught their daughters to do the same. According to theartstory.org, Seurat had a love for modern subject matter and scenes of urban leisure. Many of his artworks included water and people relaxing by the water. TheArtStory.org also states that Seurat was fascinated by a range of scientific ideas about color, form, and expression. He believed that lines tending in certain directions and colors of a particular warmth or coolness could have particular expressive effects. Creating artwork was like science to him. He mixed different colors to achieve the right color as he saw it. This technique he developed was called chromoluminism. He uses positive space in his paintings, filling the whole canvas with color. Besides his implied lines, he also uses outlines around the people and trees. He uses organic lines for the tree leaves, women's skirts, and animals' tails. He uses texture with the leaves and water, and he also uses value with the shading and shadowing in the painting. For my own artwork, I chose a photo I took a couple months ago when I was at the Morton Arboretum. Just like Georges Seurat's painting, my photo shows a peaceful scenic view of water with green land and lots of trees around. The focus point is the water. There are two young girls relaxing, enjoying the view of the water. Here is my bibliography. I am able to support my research findings with these 6 articles I found online. Thank you.